Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am going to be doing a 2022 fragrance roundup. So this is going to be like the end of the year, did they stay or did they go type of video where I am going to give you quick updates on all of the releases in 2022 that I picked up because there was a lot that I didn't pick up. So I'm just going to give you quick little updates. They're not going to be detailed or anything. It's going to be kind of like a rapid review type of video, just giving you an update on how I feel about these fragrances. And this is fragrances that I have done reviews on from the beginning of the year. The reason why I'm doing this video is because when I do my Did They Stay or Did They Go videos, I usually do it for my hauls, but I don't do it for the new release reviews that I do. So that's why I want to update you guys. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Amy. I do videos on all things girly, especially videos on smelling good. If you like that type of content, don't forget to subscribe before you leave today's video. And if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. With that said, let's get right into today's video. Let's jump right into these updates. So I have a lot here. I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna see if I can pick it up. I have all of these. So this is the reason why I won't be doing like a very in-depth type of review because there's a lot here. I wrote them in order as much as I could so that it could be kind of like the releases that were towards the beginning of the year and then towards the end of the year at the end. So I am going to start off with the first one that I have here, which is Burberry Her EDT. And I gave this fragrance a great review. And I haven't picked it up in a few months because this to me is more of like a spring and summer fragrance. And I was not expecting what I got with this when I still remember the day that I opened this fragrance and I sprayed it, because since it's Burberry Her EDT, I thought that it was going to lean more towards the strawberry side, just like the original. And this one just took me on like a whole different type of vibe. I believe this one has pear. And it just smells kind of like a more strong version of Ariana Grande's Thank You Next. It's also in that same family as Clean Reserve's Radiant Nectar. So if you like those types of fragrances, you would probably like this one. Now, I do remember that a lot of you guys gave me like mixed reviews with this one. Some of you guys really loved it. Some of you guys said that it was too floral and too strong. And some people even said sour. So I don't really pick up sour or anything like that with this one. I do pick up floral and musk along with pear and just like very juicy. It just makes me think of like flowers on a spring day. But I will say something very crazy is happening right now. It is smelling more floral than it did last year to my nose. Last year, I picked up way more on the pear. It was more of like a fruity, watery type of scent. Now I'm getting a lot of florals in here. And it's crazy. I think that the reason why fragrances might smell different to us with time, I think as they sit, they definitely get stronger. The notes kind of maybe mix better with each other. Our noses change. So this one does have peony, it has rose, lily of the valley, honeysuckle. So I think I'm just picking up more of the rose right now. Wow, a lot of the rose. So I'm definitely gonna have to revisit this spring and see how I feel about it when that time comes. But I did love this one, and the projection and the longevity on this was insane. You only need a little bit because it's going to last you all day long. So that is Burberry Her EDT. Next up, we have YSL Black Opium, and this is Illicit Green. So I remember this one, I was not really like super impressed by it. I remember saying that I did prefer the extreme version over the Illicit Green. Now, I have not picked this up ever since I got this. So this is pretty much completely full, and I do want to smell it now to see if anything smells different or how I feel about it. So Illicit Green, I believe it had fig in it, and right now I'm picking up a lot of vanilla, coffee. It's very smooth and creamy, and I am picking up a little bit of a fresh green side, but it's not green as in like sometimes when fragrances can smell green, they literally can smell like grass. This is not that type of green. This is just green as in fresh. It just makes me feel clean and fresh. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting, along with coffee, vanilla, a little creamy. It's actually really, really nice. I still don't feel like it's something that I would pick up, but it is really nice, and I think I do pick up a little bit more of the green side right now. So what I'm going to do is this year, I'll make it a point to wear this one a little bit more and get to know it and see what I think about it a little bit deeper. So I do want to get a little bit more use out of this one and see what I think, but it's just okay for me. It's not something that I feel like it was a must-have or anything like that. This next one though, I do want a full-size bottle of this one. I'm just waiting to move, but this is Dolce & Gabbana Dolce Lily. And this right here is just such a beautiful, beautiful, I call this kind of like a tropical queen type of fragrance. It's very juicy, very floral, but in a very easy to wear type of way. It's not a floral where you're going to get a headache from it. It's not going to be too strong or sharp. It's just a very nice feminine floral scent with beautiful juicy fruits in there. It's kind of like if you had an exotic basket of fruits, not regular fruits like bananas and apples, but like mangoes and pineapples. And I remember kind of getting like an acerola vibe out of this one, which acerolas are kind of like it's like a berry. And when I sprayed this fragrance, I remember that I got that vibe, but this has passion fruit. So maybe that's why I'm getting that vibe. And I usually don't like passion fruit in fragrances, but in here, it's everything. And I didn't really hear too many people talk about this fragrance. This was one of those releases where not too many people paid much attention to it, but it's gorgeous. It is just such an exotic type of scent. I feel like this is something that you can wear to an island. This is something that you can wear to vacation. It's just so good. It smells like the juiciest, ripest fruit. Like something that you're just ready to take like a juicy bite of. Kind of like a plum, like a juicy plum, or like a juicy peach or something. Not in scent wise, but just that feeling of being very juicy and ripe and sweet. I love it so much, and I definitely will be getting a full-size bottle in the future. All right, the next fragrance that I reviewed was the Mugler Angel Nova EDT, and that one has left my collection. I don't have it anymore. So the Angel Nova EDT was much better than the EDP. So the Angel Nova EDP was way too strong for me. There was a lot of rose in there. There was a lot of like wood. There was like a wood in there that reminded me of patchouli. So it was kind of dirty on me. That was the EDP. So once the EDT came out, I believe they switched that note that kind of reminded me of patchouli. And I think they added musk, if I'm not mistaken, or cedar. One of those two. And it was much better. It was a softer rose. It was a softer fragrance overall. It wasn't as pungent and strong. But I noticed that I'm just not really like a berry rose type of girl, like the sour Delina type of vibe. That's just not for me. So I was not giving that one use. I think my mom took that one. So that one's out of my collection. Not bad, but it was just not my favorite. Next we have Valentino Donna Born in Roma Coral Fantasy. That one, the scent was so beautiful. I believe it had kiwi in it. It was like it sounded like it was going to be a very unique scent for spring and summer. And it did smell really good. And I feel like I was a little harsh with that one in my review, but I was just so upset because I sprayed that fragrance on my skin and literally like 5 minutes later, I couldn't smell anything. So I was very disappointed with that because the original Donna Born in Roma, that fragrance on me lasted forever. I just can't stand that fragrance. So if the Coral Fantasy would have had the longevity of Born in Roma, I would have had a bottle of that. Now I'm thinking about trying it again and letting it sit in my collection and maybe it'll get better. But I just remember being really let down by the performance of that fragrance. But it's another beautiful fragrance for spring, for summer, for going on vacations, just that type of vibe. Really nice. Next, we have Ellis Brooklyn Sunfruit. Now this is a fragrance that I wore so much while I was on vacation on the cruise that we went on, and this to me is a very unique fruity scent. It's so good. This is another one that I definitely see myself owning the full size of next year. It just smells so good. It's a mix of like a refreshing, I almost feel like I get like a coconut water type of vibe. I don't even remember the notes in here, but it's like a very fruity, watery, a little bit like, I'm not sure if there's ambroxan in here, but there's like this like airy, transparent type of vibe to this fragrance, but it still smells really good. It's so good. I also get vanilla in here, but it's more of like a thin, airy vanilla. It's not like a super thick gourmand vanilla, but this fragrance is just so beautiful. It's unique. It's different from many summer fragrances that are released. Sometimes they kind of smell very similar to each other. I feel like this is very unique, really nice. It's sweet, it's fruity, it's watery, coconut, vanilla. There's so many things mixed in this fragrance, and it's just beautiful. I really love this one. Next up, we have a fragrance by Juliet Has a Gun, and this is Juliet Has a Gun Magnolia Bliss. This is one that I also gave a lot of use during fall time. This fragrance right here has magnolia. Obviously, it's a floral and it's in the name. It also has ginger in the opening, so you get like this very fresh, spicy type of opening with this fragrance, and then it dries down to this very girly. I compared it to the Herbal Essence the Rose shampoo, which I have always loved that scent. I feel like I get that in here, but then the ginger makes it unique. So you're not paying to smell like the Herbal Essence shampoo. You're gonna have that vibe, but there's so much more going on in this fragrance, and the ginger gives it this very elevated, more grown up type of feel. Yeah, it's so good. And it's very long lasting. Out of all of the Juliana has a gun, all of the Juliet Has a Gun fragrances, I think that this one might be one of the longer lasting ones. It's like a fresh spicy floral scent. And it's very girly, very feminine. And I feel like this is just perfect for fall and winter. So I know that many people would probably wear this during spring and summer, and it would be fine. It would do totally fine. But for some reason, I pick up a lot of the ginger. So for me, it just makes me think of like a fall and winter floral, because it just has a little bit of that spiciness in there. This fragrance to me has like attitude. Like, she's girly and she's very feminine, but she's also very strong and grown up and fierce. That's kind of what I get with this. Very beautiful. Very nice fragrance. Next up, we have Carolina Herrera's Very Good Girl Glam. That one, I gave it a pretty good review. It was much better, again, than the original Very Good Girl. My problem with Very Good Girl was the sour notes in that fragrance. It has, I believe it's either lychee or rhubarb. I don't remember, but I don't really enjoy those notes too much. And when I got the Good Girl Glam, I thought that it was going to be way less sour, which when I first got it, it was. It was definitely much better than the original Very Good Girl. But as it sat in my collection and I tried to wear it, I would say like a month or two ago, it got super sour as well. So that one had to leave my collection, unfortunately, and it just didn't work out for me. Next up, we have a celebrity fragrance, and this is Eilish by Billie Eilish. This is definitely one that I have worn a whole lot. It has a pretty good dent going on, and it's on my tray for this month. I wore it last night for bed. This is one that I gave it a kind of so-so review. I didn't think that I was going to end up liking this. It kind of, the first time that I ever smelled this fragrance, it reminded me of walking into a Whole Foods. Kind of like that herbal, spicy, like spices type of scent that you get when you go to that store. So I was like, ooh, I don't know if I want to smell like that. But the more I started to wear it, I don't get that vibe anymore. That's kind of just like the first impression that I got, because I wasn't used to such a spicy vanilla. It's very unique. It's so good. I can't believe that I almost decluttered this, because when I first got it, I was not a fan. This is so beautiful. This is sweet, spicy. It's creamy and smooth at the same time, but it has that fresh spice to it. And it's not a gourmand vanilla. This is not a cupcake vanilla. It's not a frosting vanilla. This is definitely, to me, a more complex vanilla, a more elevated vanilla. And to me, it definitely smells like something that would be like a designer or niche type of fragrance. Like, I feel like the quality of this is very, very nice. And now that I'm talking about that, if any of you guys have tried the flanker that was released for this one, let me know how you like it, because a lot of you guys wanted me to review it, but I didn't pick that one up because the notes are just way too out there for me. I think it had even had pine in it or something, so I didn't think that I was going to like that one. But please let me know if you've tried it, what your thoughts on it are. The next one is Viktor&Rolf Good Fortune. Not for me. I had a travel size of that one, got rid of it. My mom took it. She really liked that one and she wore it around me not too long ago, and it smelled amazing on her, and that thing was just projecting everywhere. But on me, I did not like it. It smelled a little bit mature for me. It's not a bad scent at all. It's just not the type of fragrances that I like. And it was very jasmine heavy, and it was just not what I go for. And I feel like it just wasn't as exciting for me. When I first saw the new release, I was very excited about it, but once I smelled it, it didn't really get me excited. Next up, we have Muglier's Alien Goddess Intense. And this one, the dent is pretty big as well. For a collection my size, the dent is pretty good. This one, I loved it when I reviewed it. I fell in love with it. And then as I've been using it, I still like it, but it's definitely not a favorite. So I'm gonna finish up the bottle. I don't think I'm going to declutter it. I definitely get more of the coconut now than I did in the beginning. So maybe that's why I'm kind of getting like different vibes from it. It's still beautiful though. The jasmine in here is not like the jasmine in Good Fortune to me. It's really, really nice in here. This fragrance to me is very creamy. It's very feminine. I used it a lot, so it does have a nice dent, but it's not a favorite, but I'm not gonna get rid of it. I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys, but all of my fragrance lovers will understand. It's a good one, but it's just not mind-blowing. Next up, we have Marc Jacobs Daisy Ever So Fresh. Literally, that to me was like a glass of orange and mango juice mixed together, and I literally just like splashed myself with it and walked out of the house like that. I don't want to smell like orange juice or like any type of juice, really. Like I didn't like the vibe that it gave me. It didn't give me there was no deepness in there. There was no like sexiness. It was just straight up mango and orange juice. So that one was just a straight up no for me. And I was really, really hoping that I would get the pineapple in there. I didn't get not one bit of pineapple with that one. Next up, we have Jean Paul Gaultier La Belle Fleur Terrible. And that one is very pretty. I got a lot of different notes in that one as well. I swear that I picked up like coconut or pineapple or something. It smelled very tropical to me. Really, really pretty, but just not enough for me to keep it for the amount of money that I paid for. It was like $140 or something like that. And I just knew that I was not going to reach for that one often. So I ended up taking it right back to Macy's. That one was just no for me. It wasn't exciting. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't exciting. Then next we have Ellis Brooklyn Vanilla Milk. What a letdown for me. When I saw that fragrance was released, I was like, this is it. This is going to be like the best vanilla fragrance ever. And once I sprayed it on myself, I was just like, what the hell is this? There was something about it that was very thick. It made me think of like egg yolks. I know that's so weird, but it made me think of like when you're making a flan, like egg and milk, and just, it was super gourmand and not in a nice way. Not in a way that I would want to smell like that. And then something about it also smelled kind of like almost, I wouldn't say smoky, but it just had this very weird, almost smoky musk to it. I don't even know how to describe it, but my skin did not like that one. They did not get along. And next up, we have oh my God, what is up with me today? Next up, we have YSL Libre Le Parfum. I'm gonna be taking this with me on vacation for sure, for Christmas. I think I'm going to be wearing this. I am not a fan of any of the Libres. I used to own the original one, and I feel like that one would do so much better in cold weather and in the evening. I owned it and I wore it a few times, but I just felt like it would lean too masculine on my skin. So then they released the Intense. That one was a little bit better, but still not for me. The EDT was really nice the first time that I tried the travel size, and then the second time that I went to try it again, it was just a straight up no. And then finally they released the Le Parfum version, and when I saw that this had honey and saffron and just notes that I felt were going to add to the fragrance and make it better, I was just all for it. And it's so nice because I still get the Libre in here, but it's so much more doable for me. The honey gives it like this sweet touch that it needed. I pick up a little more of the vanilla. I pick up the saffron. It just works. It's beautiful. I love it. And I definitely want to wear this for the holiday season, or maybe even for New Year's. This might be my New Year's scent because I just feel, I don't know, the packaging just, the bottle makes me feel like it's definitely like a New Year's type of scent. I love it. Yeah, this one's so good. All right, next up we have Kayali Love Fest Burning Cherry. Love. This is a love for me. Beautiful, beautiful cherry scent. I also get a lot of the Palo Santo in here. It's so much better than Tom Ford's Lost Cherry for me. I know that that's kind of like the first thing that we all thought of when we smelled it, but right when I smelled it, I did think, ooh, this kind of reminds me of Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. But then that dry down is just so unique to me. The Palo Santo is a note that I really like because I have had Palo Santo candles before and things like that. So I was a little familiar with the scent. So once I picked it up in this fragrance, I just loved how unique it was, how just beautiful it made me feel. It made me feel sexy in a very different type of way. And I need to start wearing it again because I did go through a whole travel size of this one. And then this one has like a baby dent going on. This one's beautiful though. It's cherry, but it's not that type of cherry that gets really annoying or medicinal. I hate when they add like licorice to the cherry scents. This is just done so right. Sexy, it's a little playful. I love it. And my husband loves it as well. So that's a bonus. Next up, we have Burberry Her Elixir. And this one, I was not so excited with it. I was expecting something else from it. I don't know why I was expecting kind of like a creamy strawberry, like almost like strawberry milk or something. And when I sprayed it, I was just like, why is everyone so excited over this? Because I didn't really get like too much of a difference from the original one. I did notice that it wasn't as like fluffy and powdery as the original one, but now that I've had it for a bit, and I have been wearing it this month, and I have been layering it with something from Bath & Body Works that I'm going to share with you guys in a video soon that just has me head over heels. So I'm so happy that I found a combo that I can work with this fragrance so that I can love it. When I first got it, it just reminded me so much of the original, but now I'm starting to get a lot of strawberry in like a more syrupy type of way. So I'm glad that I kept it in my collection. I'm going to wear it more, and the layering combo that I'm doing with this one is just everything. Next up, we have Hermetica, and this is A Pair. You guys know that I went on and on about this one this fall season. This is gorgeous. If you love pear, if you love kind of like a fall juicy apple as well, like apple picking, this is a must-have. And this fragrance does not have alcohol, so you can put this fragrance on your skin, on your hair, and it's not going to do any damage. And it smells so good. It smells like a elevated version of a body mist that smelled like apples and pears for fall time, but elevated and niche quality and just juicy. It smells really good. I love it so much. And if you're interested, I'm going to be leaving the links to all of the fragrances in my description box, and this one is from Twisted Lily, and you can also get samples on Twisted Lily's website. So I strongly encourage you to try a sample first to see if you like the fragrance. Their samples are very affordable, and I believe they should have samples to like every fragrance that they have unless they're sold out for some reason. But This is gorgeous. And I'm going to be putting my code for Twisted Lily so that you guys can save some money on your order. So go ahead and check that out. But Hermetica A Pair is just beautiful. And I know next fall season, this is going to be one that I'm going to wear so much. And this one honestly can be worn year round if you wanted to. It just really gives me like fall vibes in a very juicy way. Next up, we have Prada Paradoxe. This one was one that I absolutely loved. It reminds me of My Way, a little bit of Libre in here. And then it just dries down into this gorgeous, like very cozy vanilla scent that I was not expecting in the dry down, because it opens up very citrusy and bright, kind of like with that bubblegum type of vibe. So good. I love it. I know that many people were saying that it was boring and that they were expecting more, but I honestly think that this is an easy reach. It smells sexy, it smells expensive, it smells good, very feminine, and it lasts forever. So to me, that really means a lot, because fragrances these days, you'll spray them on and 5 minutes later, you don't really smell much. So for a fragrance to last, this lasted me all night when I did the overnight test, and when I woke up I can still smell it, but it had just turned into that vanilla scent, but it was still there and I could still smell it on my clothes, on my skin. Really nice. Next up, we have Maison Francis Kirk Dijon, and this is 724. So another one that was just very split on people who loved it and people who didn't care for it. I'm one of the ones that actually enjoy it a lot. I'm not a person who likes clean scents. This is a very clean scent. But what I like about this one is that when it starts to dry down, the sandalwood mixes really nice with my skin, and it turns into like a sweet, clean, creamy type of scent. And I really like that, because I'm not one that reaches for clean scents all the time, but it is nice to have a fragrance for those days that you just don't want to smell like perfume, or you just don't want to smell too sweet. You want to smell clean. This is amazing. I definitely recommend it for that, and it smells good and it's long lasting on me, and it performs great. All right, next up, I reviewed Victoria's Secret fragrances that were released. So here I have the Tease Sugar Fleur, and I also have Bear, which I reviewed in one video. So I'll start off with the Bear. As you can see, there is a huge dent in this one. It's not because it's a favorite, because it's getting decluttered. This one just didn't really impress me. Like, it doesn't make me, it's not unique. I actually wore it to bed all the time, so the dent was more from me wearing it at night for bed. It's not a bad fragrance at all. It's really nice. It mixes really nice with the skin, but I just found it a little bit boring, to be honest with you guys. And this has, I believe it's violet. I'm not a fan of it. So if it didn't have that note, I would probably like it a little bit more. But violet just gives it like this, almost like a cloying touch to it, and every time that I pick up on that violet, it kind of turns me off a little bit. So I'm going to be getting rid of this one. The performance is just okay. I feel like they could have done a little bit more with this one. So yeah, this one's going to be leaving my collection. It's just not anything special to me. On the other hand, we have Tease Sugar Fleur, which also has a really big dent. I don't know if you can see the dent with the light, but it got a lot of use. And this one, I prefer it. This one's staying in my collection. This one lasts longer on me. You can smell it more. It creates like a better scent bubble. Super girly, super playful. I love the name Tease Sugar Fleur, because it's definitely like flirty, teasing type of way. Really nice. It's very playful, very happy, very juicy, feminine, girly. It's so good. It almost smells kind of like a shampoo or like a really fruity body wash. But what I like about this one is that it lasted all day for me. So when a fragrance lasts all day for me, it's definitely a keeper, because my skin just eats up fragrance. So this one, I wore it in the morning a lot, and I would say by 2 o'clock, when it was time to go pick up my girls from school, I can still smell it. So that's a big plus for me. And it's just a really pretty, playful, nothing too serious, nothing to wear like on date night or anything. unless your man really likes it. But I really like it. I'm going to be finishing this one up. All right, next up we have Maison Crivelli, and this is Ambre Chromatique. And I still have this in the box because this is definitely not for me. I wanted to keep it to see if maybe it would work in like cooler weather or something like that, because I just felt bad when I received it and I didn't enjoy it. It's just not for me. You have to like amber to the point of just, this is very strong. It's a very strong resinous amber. It's very balsamic. It's like spicy. I actually think that this would smell better on a man than it would on a woman, even though it does have like that feminine side to it. But it would definitely have to be like a more, for some reason I just see someone that's a little bit more serious. It's very strong. It's not like sweet or feminine or girly or flirty. None of that. This is like strong boss vibes. Like, I'm not playing, I mean business type of thing. Like, this is a very strong fragrance. So I'm not going to be using that one, and I am going to see who in my family would enjoy this fragrance so that I can gift it to them so that it actually gets used. Next up, we're getting kind of like towards the end here, we have Jean Paul Gaultier, and this is Scandal Le Parfum. I still don't know how I feel about this. I was definitely disappointed because I was expecting something different. I feel like many people told me that they didn't get the similarities to Hypnotic Poison, that it was different. I don't know. I feel like it's way too close to Hypnotic Poison. That's the first thing that I think of when I smell it. So it is beautiful. It's a beautiful scent, but I am definitely going to have to choose between this and Hypnotic Poison, because right now I just don't want to have 2 or 3 of a fragrance that smells the same. So to me, those two are just way too similar to each other. This one does have a little bit more caramel, and it does have a little bit more of like there's like a little bit of a saltiness in here. So I do pick that up a little bit in between all of the jasmine, because I do pick up a lot of jasmine as well, and vanilla. So I don't know, I would have to wear them both like back to back to see which one I enjoy more while I'm wearing it. The Hypnotic Poison is definitely more towards the almond vanilla side. It's a little bit more almondy to me than this one, but they're just so similar. So it is a beautiful scent. If you don't own Hypnotic Poison, this is gorgeous. It's like a gourmand kind of sugar cookie type of scent. It's really nice. And this one you do get a little bit more of the caramel in here, so it's nice. Next up we have Lancome, and this is Idole Nectar. So I have been talking a lot about this one lately. I've been pairing it with body care and fragrance mist and just giving it use. I really love it. It's like a rose scent with caramel in there again, with a little bit of saltiness to it. I don't pick up on the gourmand notes as much. I do pick up more on the florals. It's just a very girly scent. And I do pick up on the caramel, but it doesn't come across as like super gourmand. It just gives it a little bit of a thicker texture to it, and then it's a little bit of a saltiness to it, but it's not too noticeable. But it's a gorgeous fragrance. I really love it. It's very feminine, very pretty, beautiful. Just, it's long lasting. You don't need to do a lot of sprays. All of the Lancome Idole fragrances, you don't have to go crazy with the sprays because they're good. They're strong and you're going to be able to smell it. So this is another beautiful release of 2022. Next up, we have Jimmy Choo's I Want You Forever. This is another one that I've been wearing a lot lately. And I gave this one such a good review because it is a very beautiful fragrance. Now, I have noticed with this one that it depends like on the day that I'm wearing it. I love it, and then there's days that I do pick up a little bit more of that vetiver, and then it gets a little bit more of like a earthy touch. It's not bad. It's still good. Every time that I smell it, it's beautiful. It's just because I pick up the almond, I pick up the cherry, I pick up like a syrupy type of vibe in here. And the vetiver just kind of grounds it a little bit. But I do pick up the vetiver sometimes more than I would like. So that's the only thing that I would say, that now that I'm updating you, that bothers me just a little bit, but it's still a beautiful fragrance, and it's still one that is long lasting on me, on my skin, and it's really, really nice for going out for events and for the evening. So I think it's really, really nice. Next up, we have Juliet Has a Gun Ego Stratis. I love this. This is one of my favorite releases of the year. So this one is for the unisex lovers. You have to be okay with a unisex fragrance. It has like an aquatic touch to it. It's refreshing. It's not too masculine, but it's not too feminine. It's kind of like right in the middle. And I get so much of the blueberry in it, which is kind of like my favorite part of this fragrance is the blueberry. And I like to combine this with Bath & Body Works Ice Sugar Plum, I think is the name. So I layer those two together and they go together so beautifully. I love it so much. It has kind of like this fruity touch to it. I get the blueberry, but then it has like aquatic notes in there. So it's very fresh. You feel very clean, perfect for daytime. It lasts a long time on me. Love it so, so much. The last one, which is one that I still need to make a video on, is the Carolina Herrera Good Girl Gold Fantasy, which this is huge. Why did I get this? I still don't know. I still don't know why I got this. I'm not a Good Girl fan. I have Good Girls in my collection, but I've never been a fan of them, like that I love them, or I just reach for them once in a while. It's a sexy fragrance to me, but it's not a favorite. But I don't know what it is about this. I don't know if it's the gold. I don't know if it was the shimmer, the glitter, the glitz, the glam. I don't know, but I just ordered it. And I ordered this because when I went on Fragrantica, it did show different notes. And also, when I read it on the description on the website, it gave different notes. It gave less notes than the original, because the original Good Girl, my mom actually took it when she came. I decluttered it. It has always been nice, but very, very cloying. I feel like it had so many notes going on. It was just really thick, very sweet, and sometimes it would just make me, like, it was just too much for me. So when I saw this one and I saw that it had less of those notes, and it had, actually, I'm just gonna tell you the notes really quickly for this one. So this one says that it just has coffee and almond in the opening, jasmine, sambac, and tuberose, and then cacao and tonka bean. So when I saw those notes, I was just like, that's kind of what I would like Good Girl, like the original one, to smell like, without all of that extra stuff that it has. And it smells very, very similar to the original one. And there's like a debate going on. Some people say that it's the exact same as the original. Some people say it's a little bit different. I am on team, it's a little bit different. It's not a huge difference, but it makes it more wearable for me because it's not as thick and cloying. So I feel like it has a little bit more amber in there, which I'm not an amber fan, but I do like what it does for this fragrance. I just like this one much better. I feel like this one is blended better. I feel like Good Girl, as much as I enjoyed it and wore it, I feel like the notes were never blended smoothly. I feel like I picked up a lot of different things. I feel like this one is blended much more smooth. I get a lot of almond, tonka bean. It's really, really nice. So I need to start wearing this one more. I have it on my tray, but I haven't worn it this month, so I'll definitely wear it this week so that I can get a better feel for it. But do you need this if you have the original one? No, not really. It's not a must-have. But if you love the gold bottle, if you never owned the original and you would like to try it, then this is a really nice one to pick up. And before I let you guys go, I was not a fan of it. I completely forgot about this one because it just was released not too long ago, and this is Kayali's Vanilla Royale, which I now have the travel size. I returned the full size and I ordered a travel size because I'm going to let this sit because I want to give it another chance, because I really want to see if I can smell those sweeter notes in the fragrance, because I have been noticing that many people who kept the full size bottle said that as the weeks go by, they have been smelling very different notes. So I figured might as well just let this sit there and try it out in a few months. I really, really like the first spray of this fragrance, and it kind of gives me Billie Eilish vibes on the first spray. And that's why I like it so much, because I do pick up a little bit more of the sweet notes, even though there's like spicy notes going on, same as Billie Eilish. But then that leather and the oud just kill me. It kills me. And it's already starting to come through. So I will definitely be updating you guys with this one. I would say in like 2-3 months. So yeah, that is it. This video was probably super long. So that's going to be it from me. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. This is my roundup for 2022. These are all of the releases that I either was gifted, I bought. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down below, what are your thoughts on some of these fragrances? What were your favorite releases for 2022? And since I am doing a lot of pre-filming for December, because I am going to be on vacation, I just want to take a little moment to wish you guys happy holidays. I hope that you guys have a great Christmas, a happy new year. I wish nothing but the best for all of you guys. I appreciate you guys so much, and I have so much love for you, and I am praying and hoping for an amazing and positive 2023 for myself as well as for all of you guys. Nothing but positive vibes, and just thank you so much for the support. So that is going to be all from me today. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I will see you guys in my next video.